Is anybody there?
Come on in.
Can I steal a moment of your time?
Sure, I'm on a break.
Hi there. Name's Lone Carter. This is William Blanco and Henry Ackley.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Johnson. What can I do for you?
I have a few questions. It will only take a moment of your time.
Very well. There's not much else for me to do right now. The drill was leaking oil left, right, and center, but I got all that plugged up, thank God.
What can you tell me about Sven Osterley?
And who might that be?
One of your colleagues. There have been 2 deaths. Know anything about that?
I haven't exactly bonded with the rest of the crew. Was he the Frenchie or the German?
The German.
I see. He seemed like a nice enough guy to me.
They seem to have been murdered.
Interesting. I didn't do it if that's what you're insinuating.
I wasn't insinuating anything. We were merely after the truth. We were investigating at the bequest of Lake.
I'm really sorry, but I don't know anything about those 2 guys.
Thanks anyway. What can you tell me about Jean-Paul Greco?
He was annoying as hell. I'm sorry he's dead, but I'm glad I don't have to listen to his grating voice anymore.
That's not a very nice thing to say.
The truth is rarely very nice.
It might be nicer if it included some degree of respect.
If you say so, Lone.
Thanks anyway. What can you tell me about this groundbreaking discovery?
Nothing. This is just another job for me. I can work and get some peace. For the most part, at least. I can't deny that going into the mountain had me shaken up at first, but I tend to find myself bored by most things fairly quickly. Let's hope the drill rekindles my enthusiasm.
Understood. Thank you. What's your job here?
I'm head of maintenance and in charge of the explosives.
What was the problem with the drill? We brought it here with us.
Some kind of minor mechanical fault that caused an oil leak. It's all fixed now, though. It's a miracle of technology, but tends to break down easily.
See you later.
Fine. Get away from the stove!
Okay, sorry. I didn't know it was such a big deal just to warm one's hands up a little.
It bothers me a great deal.
Is anybody there?
Come in.
May I take a moment of your time?
Go ahead.
Mind if we ask you a few questions?
Shoot.
What can you tell me about Sven Osterley?
What do you want to know?
Anything that might help with our investigation.
He was pretty much a complete idiot. I learned to tolerate it.
I see. Can you tell me anything about Jean-Paul?
A total cretin. Always jabbering, on and on and on.
Right, gotcha. Tell me about yourself.
What do you want to know? I was in the army, a soldier, and now I fly airplanes for old duffers. I could snap them in half with one arm behind my back. Ah, the good times. Heads rolled like bowling balls.
You must have learned a lot back then.
You can say that again, bud.
See you later.
Got you later.
Some old boots. It looks like there's something in them. Let's see what's in here. Shoe polish. It could come in handy. The drill we brought with us. I've heard that it's the cutting edge of technology. Can I speak with you for just a moment?
Sure. Go ahead.
Name's Lone Carter. I'm investigating the death of your colleagues at Lake's request.
Nice to meet you. I'm Monroe.
Feeling a bit cold?
Yeah, I'm trying to warm up a little over here.
Why don't you just go into one of the tents?
I wish I could, but I'm out here guarding the drill.
I see.
Damn weather has taken a turn for the worse here. And my teammate doesn't like keeping the stove burning. I've finally convinced him to warm up the room a little for the night. Hopefully he doesn't change his mind.
Why would he?
I don't know. He's not exactly your normal human being. You can't find him in the second tent on the left there. His name is Johnson.
We already met him, and I can assure you that the stove is lit.
Oh, great. Hey, what can I help you with?
Tell me about Sven.
I'm so sad. He was a great friend to me.
I'm sorry to hear that. Can you think of any reason someone might have wanted to harm him?
Not that I know of. He was always so nice to everyone.
There's something I must tell you. We fear that your colleagues may have been murdered.
Incredible. Who would have done that? And why?
That's what we're trying to find out. Did you notice anything odd about him?
There was one thing.
I'm listening.
In the days preceding his death, Sven was hanging out more and more often with Greco.
Interesting.
But that's not all.
Go on, please.
He appeared wary, as if he feared something. I have no idea why. His eyes were quite red, as if he wasn't sleeping well.
Did you notice any of these same symptoms in Greco?
I can't say I noticed anything like that with him.
Thanks anyway. Tell me what you know about Jean-Paul.
I didn't know him all that well.
Is there anyone who might have had a grudge against him?
He was a little outspoken, but all in all, a pretty decent guy. So, no, I don't think so. I hope you get to the bottom of all this.
Oh, don't worry. We will. Tell me about Johnson. He seems like a rather lonely fellow.
Oh, he is. Even though strange is more like it.
Why are you out here guarding the drill?
It's a very delicate machine. Danforth insisted on keeping an eye on it. That doesn't make much sense out here in the middle of nowhere, but orders are orders. Oh,
Johnson mentioned there was a problem.
yes. The oil was leaking. Nothing that couldn't be fixed. Johnson has already taken care of that.
Is there anything you can tell us about the expedition?
Not much. We're just mechanics. You should talk to the brains of the operation. They are over there, in the mess hall, as we speak.
See you later. Good morning. Name's Lone Carter.
Good morning, if you say so.
Not in the best of moods today?
Not particularly. It's pretty much 24 hours of daylight every day. Can't get any sleep, and my little guys here aren't at their happiest either. As you can see.
Yeah, all this can't exactly be easy on them either. I inquire as to your name.
I'm Larson. I tend these poor dogs and take care of the sleds.
Do you mind if I ask you about a couple of things?
Go ahead. Things can't get any worse today.
What can you tell me about Sven Osterley?
Are you trying to make me cry, Lone?
That's not my intention. I'm just after any information you might have.
Honestly, I don't want to talk about it. I'm depressed enough already.
If you don't want to, you don't have to.
I'd rather not, if it's all the same to you.
Thanks all the same. Do you know Johnson well?
Well, just barely. He ain't exactly the most open person I ever met. I think he may have fallen into depression, even more so than me.
I see. Tell me about this expedition.
The pay is good, but it's rough on the dogs. Hear that? They are not happy, and neither am I.
Doesn't the discovery excite you at all?
The remnants of a pre-human civilization? Not in the slightest. The few things I thought I knew for sure are gone, and now I feel even more insignificant.
I see. What can you tell me about Dyer and Atwood?
They mostly keep to themselves, but seem like decent enough guys. Very cultured and distinguished. They tend not to mix too much with the likes of us. I wouldn't even know what to talk about with them. The only time they appeared happy was when the discovery was made. They drank and celebrated. They seemed like regular folk then. If only I had studied too.
Tell me about Danforth.
He's Lake's assistant. He coordinates everything. A decent guy.
What can you tell me about the doctor?
He's not a head doctor, but I do feel I can talk about my feelings with him. He's very sympathetic.
Tell me about Baron.
A real reactionary, stupid as a goat, and always up for a fight. My dogs are far easier to reason with.
What can you tell me about Monroe?
A great guy. Always does his share of the labour. Always willing to listen to me when life seems meaningless. He's pulled me back from the brink of a breakdown countless times. I owe him more than I can say.
Can you tell me anything more about the expedition?
I hope it's over soon. I want to go home.
See you later.
Hopefully.
Hi, name's Lone Carter.
I'm on duty here. Make it fast.
I've got a few questions for you.
Ask them when I'm not on duty.
Lake has appointed me to investigate the deaths that have occurred here in this camp.
I'm sure he did, but I cannot allow anything to distract me from my duty as a guard.
Gotcha. I'll just be off then.
You cannot go in there!
I'd like to have a look around the storage tents. I'm investigating some deaths in the camp, as authorized by Lake.
Oh, I'm sure he has. But if any problems crop up later, I'll be the one paying the price. I'll need to see the proper papers before I can let you in.
I see. I have a few questions for you.
Ask away.
We need to take a look in the storage tent, but the guard won't let us pass.
He's a somewhat over-enthusiastic type.
He has to see our papers.
I can't help you out with this one, Lone. It would take forever to prepare the proper paperwork to grant access to their personal effects. Gentlemen, excuse me for a moment, but I have to confer with Lone in private. Come over here. Use your investigative skills. Come on.
Are you giving us carte blanche?
I don't know what you're talking about. Do whatever you need to. This discussion never happened. The last thing I need is to get tangled up in some stupid legal mess.
All right.
See you later.
See you later.
Whenever you need us.
It might come in handy. I wonder if it contains anything useful. I should ask Ackley. Henry, can you tell me what's in this jar?
Let me see. Looks like a laxative to me, and a strong one at that.
Sounds good. I'll grab some. It might help us out somewhere along the way.
You came after all.
Gentlemen, make yourselves at home. Would you like a drink?
No thanks.
But Lon...
William, we have pressing matters at hand. The odds are stacked decidedly against us. We must keep our minds lucid. Isn't that right, Henry?
It is as you say, Lone.
Yet you, Lone, you have the face of a man to whom the bottle is no stranger.
Never while on duty. Wouldn't you agree, Atwood?
Of course. As you all may recall, this is Dyer over here.
Nice to see you all again. New company is a rare thing in these parts.
How can we help you?
What can you tell me about Sven Osterley?
Poor guy. Kept to himself mostly.
But when he drank, he became the life of the party. Atwood, remember that stopover we made in Peru? That woman went totally crazy over him.
Yeah, poor boy.
If I'm not mistaken, he was from Germany originally. but his family had settled in America some time ago. I believe they immigrated shortly before the Great War.
Good for them. Things weren't looking good in those parts. And yet, what will his parents think if they're still alive? This I don't know. To escape that hell only to lose their son in this land at the edge of the world.
It's part of the game, Atwood. It's a risky business.
Of course, but it usually involves death from shipwreck, plane crash, or other work-related hazards. We are actually pretty sure. Dear gentlemen, this is now a case of murder.
What? Murder?
Are you sure?
Ackley?
Absolutely certain.
This changes everything.
Furthermore, the killer is still among us. Could be anyone who was here at the time of the crime. Therefore, only us, Baron, and Professor Lake can be counted out, as we were in Arkham together, along with the crew of the plane.
I see. So we are all suspects?
We still have no clue as to the identity of the culprit. The investigation is still ongoing.
We'll assist you in any way possible, Lone.
Absolutely, yes.
What can you tell me about Jean-Paul Greco?
He was a very nice guy.
When taken in small doses. A little too chatty and enthusiastic for my taste.
But anyway, he was a good person. Or at least he seemed to me to be.
I really didn't have much contact with him. He did his simple job with efficiency, usually teamed up with that other poor guy.
I see.
Was he married?
I remember him saying once that he was. I don't know anything else.
Me neither.
Thanks.
Don't mention it. We are here to help.
Do you know the guy guarding the storage tent?
Sure.
He's a somewhat overzealous type.
You could say that again. He won't let us in.
Actually, it contains property of the university, as well as the crew's personal goods.
Gentlemen, may I remind you that this is an ongoing investigation and that time is short.
Perhaps we can help. Take this flask. It's full of something Paris finds irresistible.
Hopefully this will be enough to persuade him.
Thank you so much. We owe you one. See you later.
Catch you later, gentlemen.
Whenever you need us, we are here for you.
Some lube could always come in handy, even if it's just cooking oil. Some metal cans. A can could always come in handy. Does this catch your fancy? I hear it's something you're quite fond of.
Thanks. I'll gladly take a pull on that. Let me see it then.
Now that we're a bit better acquainted, could we have a look around the storage tent?
I already told you that's not possible.
This could just work. I would call this an explosive cocktail indeed. Would you like some more?
Thanks. I'll gladly take a pull on that.
Have a great day.
Oh my god!
Here it comes.
I can't resist! Oh my god! Oh.
We now have access to the storage tent. It says Jean-Paul Greco on it. It's locked. Danforth is written on it. It says Johnson on it. I have a few questions for you.
Ask away.
Can you tell me anything else?
Nothing else comes to mind.
I can't think of anything.
Monroe did mention that for the last few days, Sven appeared to be on edge, as if he were afraid of something, and that he hung around more often than not with Jean-Paul.
I didn't notice anything myself.
Then pay more attention, Danforth.
Do you know where the victims kept their belongings and correspondence?
We usually keep such things in our quarters, but we also have trunks kept in storage.
Do you have any idea where the victims' correspondence has gone to?
We turned up nothing in Sven and Jean-Paul's quarters.
The mail goes out once a month.
It's usually not sorted until a few days ahead of time, and there are still a few days to go.
Thanks for interrupting me, Danforth.
Sorry, Professor.
Did you find anything unusual among the victims' possessions?
Sven's trunk in that storage tent was practically empty. We haven't been able to get Jean-Paul's trunk open. We can't find the key, and it would be most indelicate to return it to the family after it's been broken open.
Understandable, but we absolutely must find out what's inside it. Where were they staying?
Danforth?
They were in the same tent, along with Baron.
Thanks. Any ideas about how to get Jean-Paul's trunk open?
We can't find the key. It could be anywhere.
See you later.
Whenever you need us.
Mind if we ask you a few questions?
Shoot.
Are these your quarters?
Yeah, why?
Then this must also have been Sven and Jean-Paul's quarters.
Not the best roommates I've ever had, but yeah.
Could you tell me where they slept?
In the bunk beds to your left. Sven on top, Jean-Paul on the bottom.
We're looking for the key to open Jean-Paul's trunk in the storage tent. Do you know anything about that?
Check under his mattress. He was always stashing stuff under there. At worst, you might find some decent whiskey.
Thank you. See you later.
Catch you later.
Let's find out if Baron was right.
Found anything?
Give me a sec. Got something. Bingo. A key. Hopefully it's the one we're after. Now we just have to find a way to get into the storage tent. It fits. There are random odds and ends inside, and a letter. There's no trace of any sort of valuable artifact, though.
A letter? Read it. It might hold some vital clues.
Mary, our worries are over. In addition to the lavish paycheck from this expedition, I think I found, during our last outing, an object of immense value. It should make us a lot of money. Tell your brother to get in touch with that certain person. Unfortunately, we will have to share the spoils, but we will worry about that later. Jean-Paul. P.S. I'm a bit worried because that weirdo Johnson, whom I mentioned previously, seems to be breathing down our necks as if he suspects something. I'll just leave the key here. To recap, Jean-Paul and Sven found something.
Someone probably saw them taking it.
And killed them for it.
Considering the manner in which they were killed, I would say the object is not something that possesses mere monetary value.
But they couldn't have known that.
Johnson appears to be the prime suspect. Can it really be that easy?
Let's have another chat with him.
Can I speak with you for just a moment?
Sure. Go ahead.
We suspect it may have been Johnson who killed Jean Paul and Sven.
Johnson?
Yeah, this letter pretty much says it all.
Strange. He didn't seem to me to be the murdering type. The strangest thing he has done so far is to go loopy every time someone goes near the stove in his quarters.
Could he be hiding something in there?
We have to get him out of his quarters then.
There's only one thing that would get him out of there. If there was some problem with the drill.
Good idea. We'll see what we can do about that. Thanks. See you later. There is now shoe polish in the container. There's now shoe polish mixed with cooking oil in the container. Let's see what happens.
What a stench! What are you doing, Lon?
A little experiment. Here. It's turned all black and slimy.
Interesting.
Bingo. That definitely looks like an oil leak to me. The drill has another oil leak.
That couldn't have happened again.
It seems it could. It could. It could. It could. There's black stuff spewing out everywhere.
I have to get this under control, immediately. Oh my god, this is unfortunate. Please don't touch anything while I'm gone.
There seems to be something incandescent inside. Let's give this a try. Okay, I've turned it off. Perfect. Some time in the snow has cooled it off. Looks like a key.
It must be for Johnson's trunk. He's a bit paranoid about it.
Which does not bode well. Let's check before the guard returns from his special needs.
Come on.
Let's see what Johnson has hidden away in there.
I hope it's the right key.
I'll give it a try. But it's empty. There's nothing in here.
Well, well, well.
What are you laughing about, you idiot?
Just as I thought. Halt! If it is death you wish for, I can grant that. But first, I can't believe I revealed myself all for nothing. You were so far off track. I expected better from you, Ackley, and you two damn yokels.
So you are the one who killed those two men so brutally?
Brutally? I never even spilled one single drop of blood. I was doing the cleanest job of it until you all showed up. Prepare yourself. You will be with them, will be with them, will be with them, will be with them soon enough. And don't you dare take even a single step. I could always say that you attacked me, and I had to defend myself. La Grinka, Getona, Getona, Glinoto, La Grinka, Getona, Getona.
That was close.
Oh my God, Johnson. You saved us all.
Did you really think the Keepers had no one in place to keep an eye on all this?
This explains everything.
Why, you were stalking those guys.
I was sure they had something to hide. They seemed nervous and furtive. I overheard them arguing inside their tent over an object they found during the last expedition up the mountain. It seems the dissidents got to them before I could. There was nothing I could do to save them.
At least now we know who's behind the murders. Let's take all this to Professor Lake. He needs to know the truth. When this scum wakes up, I'll make sure he spills the beans. He's waking up.
What? We found this in your trunk, Danforth. How could you? I trusted you. To go so far as to kill for profit.
Profit? Paw, you, Lake. You tiny man being so full of himself, you don't know anything.
How dare you? I took you under my wing all these years.
I'm sorry, Lake, but you won't be pulling this mole out of his hole.
Stop him!
There's nothing we can do. He's dead.
But how?
They couldn't tell Lake all the details of what had happened. It seemed, as Johnson warned them later, he was with the dissidents. That same group of men who tried to capture Lone in Arkham. The mystery had deepened in its intensity. Not even Johnson could explain their presence there, but everything led to that gigantic mountain and the secrets it contained. Preparations were made as fast as the mood around the camp fell. They departed on the sleds the following day, some of them carrying the drill, the rest bearing a platoon of men. The journey was exhausting. The three men could now nod along whenever the topic of the terrifying Antarctic climate came up. Finally, they arrived at the entrance. They were overwhelmed with amazement. Hewn out of the mountainside was a doorway, not of any natural formation. And yet, the biggest surprise was still waiting for them within.